restoration and remastering of classic Filipino movies. With more than 150 restored movies and counting, the campaign received overwhelming support from actors and directors, praises from movie critics, and deep appreciation from people through social media. ABS-CBN launched in 2015 the Sagip Pelikula campaign.
It really feels good to see a work restored after so many years. It's so alive.
Habang may panahon, iligtas natin, kultura natin yan, kaluluwa natin yan, yung mga Pilipino.
Na bibigyan halaga yung mga ginawa namin klasiko nung araw.
Mga youth na manonood ngayon, they'll appreciate it more.
Which aims not just to restore classic films, but also to make them available for this generation and the generations to come through different platforms.
Now is the time to watch the films of before and you compare the films of now.
Maraming mga classic pelikula na kinakailangan talaga iligtas bago yung mga tunay makalimutan ng mga tao.
Kung silang hihinto sa paggawa nito kasi this is the only chance na makakapanood in generation ngayon.
Ultimately, films are cultural artifacts that reflect who we are as a people and in turn affect who we will become as a nation.
Uplifts the values, cultural and historical awareness, and sense of national pride of Filipino viewers.
Kailangan magmadali na magligtas sa mga pelikula ito. Bago tuluyan lahat sila maging torotot, tumatapon, tumapunta sa bansa.
Napakahalaga na alam natin ang kasaysayan ng pelikulang Pilipino.
Maraming movies in the 80s or even before then na talagang kailangan mapanood natin. Not just to appreciate, but also to study how they work. Pag pinanood natin ngayon, mas matututo pa tayo, mas ma-appreciate natin yung Philippine filmmaking.
Para sa lahat, para sa kultura natin, para sa identity natin as a Filipino.
That is why ABS-CBN Film Restoration is committed to preserving Philippine cinema, because we all deserve to see classic films.
Ang palakpakan po natin sa napanalunang award from International Gold Quill, the Award of Merit. First question will come from... Ayan, may presentation pa pala si Sir.
Ay, pero ano lang, quick lang to.
Yeah.
Just to give you a background, this is actually the second time we've won the award. About 6 years ago, we won the International Award for Excellence, also with the Gold Quill. Now, at that time, dalawa lang companies from the Philippines ang pumasok doon sa International Award of Excellence. The awarding was held in Toronto. Dito, this was awarded to us last June 16. Pagkatapos, ang napansin ko, nung tinitingnan namin yung list, halos walang Asian countries na nakapasok. The Philippines was actually one of the few countries to come in. Halos lahat ng nanalo, UK, Canada, USA, o saan mga puti. Tapos ang mga nakasabit doon, Microsoft, Google, Apple. So we're very, very proud na even with our own humble efforts, nakapasok tayo. And not just representing the Philippines, but practically representing all of Asia. So nakakatuwa naman siya. The other thing that I would want to add, this is probably the equivalent of the international Emmys in terms of prestige. Ang difference lang, the international Emmys is more for the content, the TV shows. Ito, it's promotions and marketing. At ang mga bumoboto dito are usually heads of companies or matataas yung positions sa companies. Kasi sila yung mga nag-award ng mga trophies doon sa mga tipo ng mga Apple, Amazon, ganun kalalaking kumpanya. So even the judges have to be very prestigious.
Ayan, Sir.
So, sige, bago na yung Q&A, let me just run a video. You saw a lot of the movies that we've done earlier. So, for the remainder of the year, some of the movies coming up are Bad Banana sa Puting Tabing. So, I don't know if you remember that. We're very lucky na maganda yung nakuha pa namin print and the restoration is very, very good. The other one is Mga Bilangbong Birhen, starring a very young Alma Moreno with Barbara Luna, Tricia Gomez, Mario Montenegro, and Arminda Sigil Reyna. So tama-tama with the passing of Tita Mids, this would also be a nice tribute to her. Pagkatapos meron rin kaming actually omnibus ng mga ibang pelikula. And one of the things I just wanted to add, as we celebrate the century of Philippine cinema, nakakalungkot na kukonte ang lumang pelikula around. So while we may not be able to do a full restoration, we were able to talk to LVN and we're doing brand new scans for some of the classic movies. Maybe for the younger people, hindi nyo na natatandaan. Pero ito yung mga biyaya ng lupa, Anak Dalita, Ibong Adarna, Malvarosa. And these are classics with sina Rosa Rosal, Tony Santos Sr. And this would be the best that they would have been seen in nearly half a century. So they will be unveiling also as we do our tie-ups with Cinema One Original, Cinemalaya, Q Cinema, and the Micro Cinemas. So on that note, we'd just like to show the video.
Ulan na.
Very good.
Meron ka na bang minahal?
Walang lugar dito para sa mga bata.
Bigyan mo naman ako ng 5 pesos sa katanungan.
Wala pa kayo nakikita kakilala natin?
Ganda din ako.
Ano kaya ito?
Kung ano akong sinimulan, ay dapat kong tapusin. Para mawala ang mga dayong Amerikano din sa ating bayan.
Nasa ulo na tayo.
Napakalaking isla nito ah.
Amigos, yours truly, ang Pepes naliligawan.
Wala pa kayo nakikita kakilala natin?
Ulan na.
Makukuha din natin ang sombrero. May mamalahin at trust.
Tutulungan niyo ba ako, hindi?
Wala akong pakialam sa sombrero niyan. Basta gusto ko kumain.
Mountain snow, yeah, the size and look of the rock. Nasaan nga?
Yung palakpakan natin, ang mga upcoming wrestler.
Hi, sir. Sir, some of the videos have already spoken for some of the projects. But, sir, if I'm not mistaken, many of the projects that are coming up that you're going to be restoring are also from LVN, am I correct? Some of the other projects that
Yes.
are in line.
But the one from LVN is not a full-on restoration kasi medyo mas complicated. But we are doing brand new 4K scans. So pag pinanood nyo ngayon, this would, as I said earlier, this would be the clearest that they would have looked since actually the time that they were first shown. Kasi using digital and DCP, mas malutong yung video ngayon eh. So, at ang mapapanood nyo, ang na-preserve kasi nila yung mga premiadong pelikula nila. Biyaya ng Lupa, Anak Dalita, Malvarosa.
And sir, what about the other classics like obviously like probably from Sampaguita, have they approached you from or have the other film companies?
Well, a lot of our problems kasi is the survival of the materials. Ang Sampaguita, to my knowledge, halos nasub na lahat ng prints and negatives nila. Yung mga napapanood nyo sa TV, yun yung mga video copies. And unfortunately, we cannot do the restoration from video copies. We would have to go back to the prints or to the master negatives. Eh sa atin nga, maswerte kami like yung Bilanggong Birhen, ang Reyna Films natago nila ang master negative. Kaya ganun kalutong yun eh. But for the most part, karamihan ng restoration namin ay puro print ang ginagamit. Kaya nakikita nyo yung difference eh. Pag master negative, iba yung crispness ng video.
Alright, our next question will come from Mr. Nestor Cortero of Manila Bulletin.
Ang dami na namin tanong kanina, so hindi ko na alam. Anyway, siguro tanong na lang natin, how many have you restored so far? Ilan lang nasa library ng inyong?
Right now, ang talagang ready to go is about 150, pero we're about 185 right now. Kasi meron yung iba in various stages pa na may color grading pa o kaya may enhancement kami na gagawin. In some cases, like with One More Chance, binalikan namin yung restoration kasi yung una, that was one of the earliest movies that we did. It was only an HD scan of the print. But since we were able to find the master negatives and it was in good condition, yung nakikita yung ina-advertise namin ngayon na available in iTunes with Spanish subtitles, that's a very, very clear version. Kasi ano yun nabalikan namin ng master negatives doon. Tapos panibagong color grading ulit yun.
Ano yung output ninyo? I mean, in a matter of, in a year, for example, or how many do you get to restore?
Nung nag-uumpisa kami ng mga 2012, we were averaging about 30 to 35 films a year. Kasi ang dami pang madadaling scene noon. Pero since naubusan namin yung mga madaling i-restore, yung mga 2 weeks, 1 month kayang i-restore, ang naiwan na lang sa amin ay yung medyo mahirap. So we're averaging siguro, we'll probably be able to do a mix of 10 to maybe 15 for this year. Kasi pamahal na rin sila ng pamahal. Kaya medyo mahirap na rin.
Give us an idea, gaano kamahal ang isang restoration project?
Yung mga Star Cinema dati na hindi masyadong severe ang damage, you could probably restore it for about 200,000-250,000 pesos. Kasi na-preserve ang print, na maayos ang negative. But as you start growing older, something like Sana Maulit Muli was already costing us over 2 million pesos. Now, yung nakita yung misteryo sa tuwa, to me, I just like to point out, nung original na kinote yan sa amin, it would take about 30,000 man-hours of restoration. Computed at the old formula, it would cost us something like 40 million pesos. So in fact, nag-gestate na yan for the last 5 years. When I was able to visit Retrovata in Italy, sabi nila, Leo, it's a good thing that you sent us the print. Kasi had you sent it to us in another year, wala na kayong ma-restore. Yung mga prints, nakalagay siya in a plastic container, tapos may gas sila na pinapasok para maghiwalay-hiwalay ulit yung print. Kasi nagdikit-dikit na siya, so hindi siya may scan. So, yung sa amin, ang tinatry namin is to look at the best possible combination of work so that we can bring down the cost. Now, 5 years later, bumaba na rin yung ibang software cost. So it's going to cost us probably in the area of about 5 to 6 million na lang instead of 40 million. But that also meant that we had to do the scan in Italy, the color grading with Wild Sound in Manila, the restoration with Cantana in Thailand. So, hihiwa-hiwalayin mo yun kasi mas mura yung ibibigay na rate ng isa, mas maayos, mas kaya nilang gawin to. So you have to be very fiscally responsible kasi mahal siyang proseso.
So hindi lahat dito ginagawa?
Hindi. The bulk of our restoration was done with Central Digital Lab of Cinemanet David. But there were also some problems na hindi rin kakayanin o masyadong mahal pag dito ginawa. So we've actually worked with Retrovata in Italy. This is the company na ginagamit ni Martin Scorsese for the Criterion releases. Pagkatapos yung Cantana, which used to be a film post-production facility, they ventured into film restoration about 3 years ago. So when we checked their work, we were very happy naman with the results. So yung mga Captain Barbell, doon yan ginawa, minsan isang gamo-gamo, those were already done in Cantana. Ang advantage,
Italy.
Hindi, Thailand. Pero they have laboratories in Bangkok and in India.
Yung ibang, last point, yung ibang producer, what is the arrangement when, if I'm a producer outside of ABS and I want my film restored, do I lose the rights to my film?
Well, it depends on the producer. Like for example, with the Reina Films, it's a license, our control for an X number of years, then it goes back to Reina Films. But for a lot of the other producers, lalo na yung maliliit na producers, mas gusto na nilang ibenta ng lock, stock, and barrel. Kasi unang-una, hindi rin naman nila maaalagaan ng mga negative o mga print kung may kopya pa sila. So parang yun na yung last hurrah nila, at least they still got something out of it. So a lot of the producers na mga 2-5 pelikula lang yung ginawa, they opted to just sell it outright. And then it makes sense. Kasi kung halimbawa magre-rent sila ng space dun sa vault, tataas lang na tataas yung cost nila. At least pag binenta sa amin, nabayaran na sila, cost na namin ang pag-preserve ng print.
Pag ni-restore, anong material niya ngayon? Digital.
Now, I've always wanted to go back to film and negative. Ang problema mo, dito sa Philippines, wala ng film laboratory. So if you needed to check it, you'd have to send it out of the country. But for some movies, like for example, for Kakabakaba, that was done in Retrovata in Italy. But because we will no longer have access to the materials after the restoration, it was going to revert back to Mike De Leon. We actually had a negative made from the restored copy. So yung negative na bago, yun ang naka-restore sa baba. So just in case masira yung kopya namin, we can just do a brand new scan of the negative. Na restored na, maayos na.
Okay, our next question will come from Mr. Mario Bautista of Malaya.
Parang you're in good terms with Mike De Leon. Ang dami mo na na-restore na gawa niya kahit kakaba-kaba ka mga harap at magazine, di ba?
Oo.
So,
Anong pelikula?
if you check sa Vimeo, makikita mo yung list ng mga LBN pictures na available na meron siyang kopya.
Oo.
Have you tried seeing it?
Pero yung mga LVN, karamihan doon are either on DVD lang or Betacam. So yung mga pelikula na in-scan namin, yun yung mga prints na na-turn over sa amin ng LVN. Kasi remember before LVN was also disposing of their properties, there were a whole bunch of films that were turned over to us. So some of them are 16mm prints, some of them are 35mm prints.
Eh yung na-restore na biyaya ng lupa, that was...
Hindi siya restored. It was a brand new print that was commissioned by LVN with the help of the CCP about 15 years ago.
Oo, napanood ko yun.
Oo. Pero yun pinoproject sa using a film projector.
Yeah.
Oh, but with DCP, with a brand new scan, mas malinaw siya.
Malinaw na.
Mas malinaw siya.
Ganon din yung anak dalita.
Oo, at saka biyaya ng lupa, at saka Ibong Adarna. Yung Ibong Adarna nga, di ba nakita nyo yung may comparison kami. Yung original Ibong Adarna kasi was one of the first films that was colored. Yung Adarna bird was hand-colored in the colors of the rainbow. Now, the print that we have does not have any of that coloring, pero as part of what we're trying to do, we asked our people in restoration kung pwedeng i-digital color ulit nila yung Ibong Adarna so that when it's shown, when it's projected on screen, parang it will replicate the experience of how people saw it before.
Di sa Leia ba meron kayong na-try na ano?
Wala. Apparently ang Leia, walang survive na copy.
Sayang ano?
I remember si Charo and I were talking before, ang hinahanap namin, because Mrs. Concho started the film archives with me. Tapos the restoration project was started basically by Gabby, by Charo, and by myself. Sila yung nag-provide ng funding in the budget.
Yung mga tinago ni Ernie De Pedro ng araw na wala lahat yun?
Ang problema kasi sa CCP, after the Marcoses left, wala nang aircon, binabaha. So ang dami-daming prints na nasira because of the salt water. So yun yung problema. So in fact, ang mural, for the longest time we thought mural could not be restored. Yung kopya na nakita sa CCP, pag binuksan mo na siya, dikit-dikit na siya. But buti na lang, we were able to trace another copy and that was the basis of the restoration we did. Even in fact, that was not a perfect restoration. But at least the movie has been preserved kahit pa paano.
So yung mga gawa ni Lino na Santiago, yung mga pati mga Amel, wala na lahat yun. Sayang.
In fact, there are about over 8,000 movies that were shot on film, produced from 1919 to 2012. Now, of those movies, siguro sabi mo between 4,000 to 5,000 copies survive in some form, video and whatnot. Ang may print lang, siguro around 2,000 to 2,500. Ngayon, kailangan mo pang i-check yun kung yung mga print na yun kumpleto at kung marerestore.
Ginawa ng Toronto.
Oo, karamihan ginawa ng Toronto.
Yung sa Reina Films, Daro ang Apoy, meron bang kopya nun?
Yung Laro ang Apoy ata ang walang kopya.
Sayang.
Kasi I remember we were talking to Carlitos.
Si Alma.
We were talking to Carlitos about it eh. I think yun yung isa sa mga hindi marerestore kasi hindi ata kumpleto yun eh. Kasi minsan...
It was Romy who directed it.
I think so.
Romy Susara.
So sa Reina yun lang ang walang kopya.
Parang yun lang.
How about those produced by Charo for Bangkok? Pag-ibig na walang dangal, ba't wala kayong...
Hindi, but because Bancom, I think is now owned by Solar. They were able to buy, but they have to discuss the rights.
Wala bang program ang Solar kahit niya?
Hindi ko lang alam. Kasi you have to remember, restoring films can be very, very expensive. Yung dito kasi, at least ABS-CBN is lucky because we do have the platforms. May TV, may cable, may digital. So kailangan madugtong-dugtong mo yun para to make the investment worth it. Pero, that's why itong sa restoration ng pelikula, it's really more of an advocacy. Kasi hindi mo na mabawi ang cost kaagad eh. As the movie becomes more expensive, you're farther and farther away from recoupment. That's why yung sa amin, it really became more of an advocacy. Buti na lang si Mrs. Concho was part of the film industry. So it was one of the things that she pursued. Mr. Lopez is very fond of movies, which actually surprised me. Kaya dati nung nagpapa-approve ako ng budget kay Gabby, hindi rin ako nahihirapan sa kanya. Kasi siya, I think, my sense was he was more of a film person than a TV person. He would really talk about films eh. So,
Si Ethel naman.
Ang Tagalog ilang-ilang wala.
parang wala na rin.
Yun.
Parang wala na rin.
Kasi yung mga action film sana ni Tony Ferrer
Oo.
at ni FPJ.
Lahat po ng FPJ, for as long as FPJ has the rights, is with FPJ Studios. So Jeffrey Sonora will likely be restoring them. Pero katulad to kahit yung mga Zaldi Shortnak, ng mga marami nagre-request pero wala nang mga kopya eh.
Yung mga pelikula ni Era wala na rin.
Hindi ko naalagaan. In fact, as far as I know, even the Dolphy, when we bought the Dolphy library, ang pwede lang namin i-restore of the, I think, over the 100 movies there, siguro ata wala pa sa 15. Kasi yun na lang yung intact yung materials eh. In fact, the oldest, there is a Dolphy movie we're trying to restore. It's from 1969, but it's a drama. So, kaya lang, tinitingnan pa namin kung tatayo yung materials na i-restore. Hindi. It's black and white eh. I forget the name, but it's Dolphy doing drama when he was doing comedy the rest of the time. So, titingnan pa namin. Pero the earliest Dolphy that we've restored is Captain Barbell. And if you notice yung Captain Barbell, sa TV, maliwanag siya. But when you project it on the screen, doon mo makikita na 16mm na lang yung nagsusurvive. Kaya yung ibang detail, medyo hindi na rin ganun ka-crisp. That's why ideally, if you can go back to a negative, the negative will give you the most detail. Parang kung sa digital camera, yan yung siguro yung mga 15, 20 megapixel ang pagkuha nyo. Pag pumunta ka sa print, siguro nasa mga 8 megapixel na yon. Pag pumunta ka na lang sa 16mm for example, baka wala pang 1 megapixel yon. So you could just imagine na pag binublow up mo, puro square na lang yung nakikita mo.
Yung tatay kong nanay is Lotus Fields. Sa akin na JCU yung kapatid ni Mother Lily. And he also made the hanain. Have you talked to Nelly or somebody?
Well, yung they might have kasi the rights eh. But ang napansin namin, a lot of the producers don't have the copies. So minsan, when we'll talk to a producer, iba ang kakausapin mo dun sa nagmay-ari ng kopya. As far ang alam ko sa tatay kong nanay, kasi we link up with all of the different archive facilities. Whether it's Mobile Fund, whether it's CCP. Kasi nagtatanungan, may alam ba kayong kopya nito? Ang tatay kong nanay, alam ko wala ng kopya. To me, that is like a holy grail for me. That's a movie that I would want.
Yung mga kay Imos Productions, wala.
Yung sa Imos...
Kasi mayroon doon si Rani at saka si... Ang Villa, iyo ang tondo akin.
Ay, yan? FPJ Studios na nag-restore. So, yung recent na pinalabas sa ABS-CBN, alam ko, brand new scan yun eh. Hindi ko lang po alam kung full restoration. So, basta si FPJ nandun, I think except for a couple of movies, lahat po siya may kopya nun eh. So, sina Jeffrey po ang nagre-restore nun.
Thank you. Ito ngayon si Mr. Isabel.
Leo, are you making these films available for collectors like us? Now, I want to have a copy even on DVD.
Yes, actually yan ang malaking problema ko ngayon. Kasi in fact, we were supposed to do a double disc of minsan isang gamo-gamo in 3 taong walang Diyos. Ang problema, yung kahuli-huling replicator dito sa Philippines nagsara. Kasi, so we're now exploring, is there a way for us to have it replicated abroad or buy the equipment? Ang kaso lang, ang dami na rin tao na walang DVD player. So, hindi katulad dati na 10,000 copies, madali mo mabibenta. Ang 1,000 copies, medyo pahirapan mo ng ibenta ngayon. They really are collectors na lang. So, we're trying to explore. If you notice kasi, ang packaging namin, ang gaganda ng packaging. Ginagastusan namin yung packaging eh. Because we want it to be a very nice experience. Like,
Blu-ray, meron pang mga Blu-ray players.
Ang Blu-ray naman will play a DVD also. In fact, it's a better Ang problema ko lang sa Blu-ray, kaya may takot ako. Sa rampant ng piracy, pag Blu-ray copy ang binigay mo, you're practically giving them a master copy. To me, that's the only dilemma. In fact, yung mga DVD namin, mga Himala, Oro, Plata, Mata, ganito kami, nasa pirated sites na eh. From the DVD.
Grabe naman. Grabe naman sila. Anyway, so with your advocacy, dapat meron din kayong parang sleuthing on where to find the copies of these missing films.
No, we're doing that.
Kasi, di ba, meron ganyan sa States eh. Ini-sleuth nila kung saan napunta yung, lalo na ng mga hindi pa uso yung archiving. So So nakikita lang kung saan country, doon na pala, at sa France or something like that.
No,
Are you also doing
we're
that?
actually coordinated with international archives, so with the British Film Institute. We have a list of all of the titles that they have, with the Fukuoka Film Archives, with the festivals like Venice. May listahan na kami kung ano yung mga big prints sila. Kaya lang, like for example, yung mga ibang pelikula, hindi festival ang may-ari. Like I think ang Bona ata si Pierre Ricient ang may-ari. So yung mga kaya lang, for example, at the time we were asking, I think they were asking for $200,000 for a copy of the print. Eh sabi ko, ba't mo na magbabayad ng $200,000 for a copy of the print? So there are considerations like that come into play.
Thank you.
Yung misa isang gamot-gamot, that's premiere. So, kay Dig na yun, di ba? So,
Pero maswerte kami doon. Kasi when the film archives of ABS-CBN was starting before, ang requirement namin, we were asking producers to give us clear copies of their videos.
We had everything.
Tatapusin ko lang, tapos ito tayo doon. We were asking producers to either lend us the print or lend as a negative. Kasi at that time, ABS-CBN had gotten a brand new telecine. Kasi we were shifting also to Betacam, yung mas malinaw na kopya rather than the Umatic. Ngayon, yung mga producers na hindi makakapagpahiram sa amin ng print, negative ang papahiram sa amin, gagawa kami ng print na ABS ang may-ari ng print. 25 years later, karamihan ng nire-restore namin galing dun sa mga print na create namin kasi yung original negatives wala na. So kaya ang Karnal, maganda yung kopya because of that. Yung sa premiere rin, kaya may maganda yung kopya because of that.
Yung wala rin sa chat,
wala na rin. So Leo Production, wala rin.
So sila Dig na wala talagang nag-survive?
Konting-konti. In fact, when we met with Premiere, they gave us a list of titles. Marami, about 200 titles. Ang meron lang ata na buong print are siguro mga 30 titles. Pero 30 titles lang ang may print. Eh yung mga ibang sine naman hindi maganda, hindi ko na naman uunahin yung hindi maganda. So,
our next question will come from, dito naman tayo sa site na to, from whatsapp.ph.
Sir Leo, gusto ko lang, si Conrad, was on that page. Ang info ninyo dito, yung pag-restore ng mga lumang pelikula para po ba sa ating mga millennials, gano'n?
Hindi lang sa millennials. I think it's for the people who appreciated the movies before, but also all future generations. Kasi ako, I grew up on movies eh. Nung bata ako, my dad would take me to foreign movies, my mom would take me to local movies. So sanay ako sa sinihan na nanonood. So that formed my love for the movies. Ang nalulungkot ako, when you talk to a lot of young people, they don't quite have that appreciation anymore. Pagkatapos, ngayon, we celebrate the likes of sina Love and sina Brillante. Parang nakakalimutan na once upon a time, Eddie Romero, Lino Broca, Ishmael Bernal, Mike De Leon, were all bringing honor to the country already. So to me, who grew up on movies, it was important to remind people that we were up there with the best of the rest of the world even before. Dapat hindi makalimutan.
Saan po ba ito papalabas sa mga sinehan po ba o sa TV, local TV po?
We have a lot of tie-ups. So if you notice, pinapalabas sa Sundays Best once a month ng TBF. Pagkatapos, hindi na ba malakas sa mga boses ko. Pagkatapos sa Sky Cable, sa Cinema One, sa ibang platforms, it's on iTunes. When we can release sa DVD, we release on DVD. It's on Amazon Prime.
I just bought Apple TV.
Ayun. Tapos it's on Netflix. Some movies are on iFlix. Pagkatapos we have our tie-ups with Ayala, with Rockwell. Kaya minsan may mga festival kami doon.
Isa na lang pong tanong. Fans po ako ni Nida Blanca tsaka ni Nestor Gregory, mga pelikula. May na-restore po ba kayo sa mga pelikula nilang lumay?
Not yung tandem nila kasi wala nasusurvive na couple. Pero yung halimbawa like Nestor was in hindi nakahati ang langit. Parang mga ganun na lang. Sabi ko nga kina Aiza kanina, one of my big regrets is namatay na si Lolita Rodriguez. Yeah. And I consider one of the best actresses ever. Pero tinan mo, walang na-restore pa sa mga works niya.
Ito ba kay Luis Gonzalez?
Wala eh. Yung time na yun, nawala talaga.
Ang ganda ko ng mga pelikula nila.
Si Gloria Romero.
Yung Gloria Romero, yung later films naman niya, like Tangi Yaman Kisino Story, hindi nakahati ang langit sa story.
Hindi mo na mahanap ang best part sa Dora.
Wala na yung mga, wala na kopya yung mga yun.
Ay, may plaka ako ng Lespat sa Diyos.
Ikaw na lang siguro meron pa.
70 pa, ano nga, 78. Yung mabilis ng ano.
Oo. Ano yun, 33, 45, at saka 70 something.
78.
78.
Alright, our next follow-up question.
How do you select which ones to restore?
Okay. Nung nag-uumpisa kami kasi, ako, what I wanted was for the restoration to be director-centric. So that we will have a good cross-section of the different directors. So halimbawa, nilista namin ng mga direktor, pagkatapos, for each director, ito yung mga pelikula na ideally ma-restore namin. Kaya lang, hindi, for example, like yung mga sinasabi, kay Celso at Castillo, would Virgin People have been my first preference to restore? No, because he has other works that were more important. Unfortunately, at that time, only Virgin People was available to us. Burlesque Queen, until now, we are still looking for. Tag-ulan sa Tag-araw only surfaced about 2 years ago. So, yun, with that list, titingnan mo, i-identify mo ano yung works. Pumayag na si Vilma, but when we found a copy, nung binuksan yung lata, tunaw na yung tatlong reel. So kahit si Vilma, nalungkot when she found out about it because she was very excited when we said that can we negotiate with you for the rights? You don't have the copy pero may nahanap kami. Umuha agad si Vilma. Nung in-inspection ng archives, tunaw na. And that's a common problem for the older movies. Lalo na yung mga hindi nila natatandaan, ipinasok lang pala sa isang bodega sa bahay, nasa ilalim ng kama ang mga lata, pagkatapos baka tumutulo pa ang kisame pag umuulan.
Isla.
Sa Viva ata yun eh.
No, ECP yun.
ECP yun eh.
Hindi ECP nag-produce. Apat na nga produce ng ECP eh. Himala, Oro, Plata, Mata, Misterio sa Tuwa, and Soltero of J. Ilagan ni Pio de Castro. Flores de Mayo yung pang-5th, hindi lang nagawa. Isla was, I think, Viva, but released to ECP.
Company of Women.
Hindi rin ano. I think, pero ang Company of Women ata is foreign investors eh. So I think,
Melquieres yan yan.
pero kasi yun yung problema minsan, iba-iba ang nagme-may-ari ng rights, iba-iba ang kausapin mo.
Ayan.
Magandang i-restore yung
Our next question po, ayan, will come from Miguel Dumawal of ABS-CBN News.
Sir Leo, good afternoon.
Anong kinalaman kayo?
Sir, you were saying na for today's moviegoers, yung reason for restoring these classics, how would you gauge the success of these films accessing or being available to today's audience?
You know, the advocacy is very, very difficult because unlike our generation that used to watch all of these Tagalog movies in RPN 9 or Channel 13, na tuwing hapon yun yung pinapalabas, walang ganong experience yung bata ngayon. So it's really reintroducing the classics to them. So in fact, like for example, yung ganito kami noon, pinalabas namin sa Adamson University. Hindi makapaniwala ang mga tao na si Eddie Garcia, yung ka-eksena ni Christopher at saka ni Gloria. Kasi sabi nila, si Eddie Garcia matanda na, puti ang buhok. Batang-bata yan eh. So wala silang ganun na konteksto. So right now, while we are hoping that the young people will appreciate it, it is a process of reintroduction. Now, the reason we need to do the restoration, you look at the Hollywood movies, you go to HBO, diba? HD. Kahit yung mga Sound of Music nila, ang liwanag. Itatabi mo ang lumang sini ng LBN, lumang sini ng Regal, lumang sini ng Viva. All things being equal, nasanay na sila sa malinaw, papatusin pa ba nila yung malabo? So yung sa akin, o sige, allow us to restore. Come close to parity. Baka mamaya, give us a chance, you might rediscover the movies, you might actually like it, and you might actually start looking for some of the older movies. And so far, that's been our experience with a lot of young people. I also like to keep saying, bago yung restoration, hirap na hirap kaming maghanap ng bata na mag-a-apply sa film archives ng ABS-CBN. Puro matatanda ang nag-a-apply sa amin. Yung mga malapit na sa hukay. Hindi, kasi walang appreciation yung mga bata. But the moment we did the film restoration project, bukod sa maraming nag-a-apply, lahat na nag-a-apply in their 20s. Dati, in 7 years, isa lang bata ang nakuha namin. At saka, si Carmela yun eh. Tapos hindi pa siya sa amin dapat nag-a-apply sa ibang departamento, nagkataon lang sa amin napunta. So, pero now, people are actually going to the film archives, requesting to study, to be interns with the film archives, because they're appreciating the movies. There is a point of common interest now. They can talk to their grandparents, they can talk to their parents. When we did Magic Temple, which is not that old, a lot of the people bringing the kids to Magic Temple are young fathers. And they were saying, yan yung E.T. namin. Yan yung Star Wars namin. So nakakatuwa siya.
Magandang pelikula noon.
No, we cannot.
Paano ho? I think, personally, if you ask me, ako, yun noon. Only because I think ngayon masyadong nalimita because of commercial reasons yung mga ginagawa natin pelikula. Dati, normal ang karnal, ang tag-ulan sa tag-araw, ang isang gamo-gamo. Parang kumbaga, may chance siya kumita sa box office. Ngayon, sa indie festival na lang siya makikita.
Mas malalalim ang pelikula noon.
Ngayon, puro rom-com.
Pero kasi yun, but that's why to me, it's also important to preserve the movies. Terex? The Ravelo family. Kasi ang... Sorry, ano kami?
Mas maganda yung pelikula nun, which is true.
Mas maganda yung mga pelikula nun kasi yung range ng mga topics na nagagawa nila, mas malawak. Hindi lang pwedeng may horror, pwedeng may political, pwedeng may satire. Parang makakagawa ka pa ba ng kakaba-kaba this year? Parang hindi na rin eh. Pagkatapos, even writers like Ricky Lee, in 1 year can do Himala, can do Moral, and can do Haplos. So in 1 year yun, magkakaibang tema yung pelikula, magkakaibang sense of narrative, magkakaibang ano. Ngayon, even the writers, nagsasawa na sila sa kakasulat. That's why I think a platform like I Want is getting popular right now. Kasi writers, creatives can play around with the kinds of concepts that they can still do. Parang kahit sa Amerika, yung mga middle-of-the-road movies, yung mga Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks na rom-com, namamatay na rin sa box office yun eh. It's either you have the superheroes or you have the indies. Pero yung lahat ng mga Big Little Lies, yung mga ganun tipo makikita nyo na siya sa HBO, makikita nyo siya sa Netflix.
Sir, meron po isang pelikula gusto ko, na-restore niyo ba yung Miracle of Love? Kay Roxanne.
Hindi ko alam kung may kopya pa yan eh. Oo.
Miracle of
Love.
And Janice Revelation.
Ayun po, wala hindi po ba na...
Parang I've never seen it come up in the list na may mga available na prints.
This Gabi ang producer nun.
Oo. Yun naman sa kakatakot eh. May print tayo ng Miracle of Love. Ayun pala, may print daw kami ng Miracle of Love. Nakapapagawa daw kami. So sabi nila.
Ang ganda po kasi ng pelikula.
Ayan.
So yun, may copy pala sa archives.
Our next question, we're down to our last 2 questions. Tatanong si Sir Alex Brosas of Manila Bulletin.
Wow.
Hello. Sir Leo, what do you think are the 3 best movies that you would want millennials to watch na restore?
3 lang.
3 movies. 3 to your standard, 3 best movies that you would want millennials to watch na restored.
Iba kasi yung standard ko, iba yung feeling ko na ma-appreciate nila.
Nora.
Ang napansin ko na na-appreciate nila, ganito kami noon. I think they find it as a comedy, kakaba-kaba, and Oro Plata Mata.
They find it as a comedy?
So far, yung sa Adamson, at saka sa ibang schools na pinakita namin ng ganito kami noon, nagugulat ako dun sa tinatawanan nila na portions. Natatanda ko, nung bata ako, yun din yung mga natatawa akong portions. So sabi ko, Eddie Romero must have had something na it's transcending time. So, but you know, and then sometimes matatawa sila sa itsura, sa wig, sa damit, or whatever. Pero ako, to me, yung kakaba-kaba, it's resonating with the audience now. Ganito kami noon, it's one of the most requested movies by young people. I also don't know why. Oro Plata Mata, I think because of its epic scale, people are gravitating to it. In fact, sinasabi ko nga, Oro Plata Mata to me is not a perfect movie eh. I think the final act runs a little too long, some of the violence may be a little too gratuitous. But there are elements to it kasi na hindi mo na makikita sa kahit anong pelikulang ginagawa ngayon. There is an opulence to it, there is an elegance to it. And considering it's Peke's first movie, di ba? Isipin mo nga yung mga first movie ni Mike Delir, Itim. First movie ni Peke, Oro Plata Mata. Kaya minsan, na-jar lang ako pag mga indie festival. Sasabihin, first movie ni ganito, pagkatapos dapat mas forgiving tayo. Ako point ko, mas mahirap ang gumawa ng pelikula nung film actually ang ginagamit mo. At ang benchmark ko, Peke, Lino, di ba? Doon ka magko-compare. Sa digital, di ba? Dali-dali namang mag-retake. Hindi nga magastos, mabubura mo naman. So to me, it's important rin that the classics, the masters, are revived so that makikita nyo, kung magbe-benchmark kayo, dito kayo mag-benchmark. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, okay. Tanong ko na lang. Hindi po ba dapat may regular theater which will
Screen exclusively yung mga restored movies para ma-attract yung attention ng mga millennials? Do you think it will work?
We are talking to different cinemas and there are certain things that we're planning. Kaya lang ako, I'm a realist eh. Sabi ko nga, in the hierarchy of movies, blockbuster movies, mga Star Cinema, mga Regal, mga Viva, Festival, Indie, kami nandun sa pinakababa. So wala akong ilusyon na ang mga tao readily ma-appreciate yung ginagawa namin. Pero over time, that's why we're taking it on campus road shows. We're going to different schools trying to showcase the movies. We do the talks. We tie up with the micro cinemas. We tie up with Ayala and we tie up with Rockwell. Kasi hopefully with the gradual introduction of the movies, makakabuild kami ng audience that will steadily follow the restored movies. Kasi ngayon wala pa siyang critical mass eh. Like for example, kung may Spider-Man, manunood pa sila ng 3 taong walang Diyos. O kung halimbawa, palabas ang Lion King, manunood pa sila ng kakaba-kaba. Alam ko naman, I have to be pragmatic eh. Alam ko naman hindi ako magiging top choice eh. So I just have to be creative with the way we promote it, with the way we communicate. Kaya nakikita nyo, gumagawa kami ng mga bagong trailer. Gumagawa kami ng mga bagong posters para to catch the attention of the young people. Our posters, if you notice, we always do multiple posters. Ang mandate lang doon, yung isang poster traditional, yung isa pang generation ngayon. Pag nakita nila halimbawa sa labas ng sinihan, at the very least gusto ko, titigil sila sa harap ng poster, magagandaan sa poster, and maybe they'll start considering na, uy siguro maganda itong sine to, panoorin ko nga pag may oras ako. I mean, it's a slow process. But eventually we'll get there na there's going to be a permanent venue, there's going to be demand, and people will look forward to watching the movies like they do in the US.
Okay, and our last question will come from Michael Almacen of Big's Buzz.
Hello po. Mahilig kasi kami manood ng restored classic sa I1. And kanina nga lang yung Pitong Gatang. Pero napapansin ng papa ko na parang na parang may mga eksena na wala dun sa mga napanood niya before sa mga ibang films. Parang na-chop.
Well, alam ko ang I1, I don't think they really edit it. It may be a function of the only surviving copy. Kasi pwede yung napanood niya sa TV na doon mas kumpleto eh.
Kasi ito yung restored eh.
Ay, pero yung Pitong Gatang hindi naman restored yun. Hindi yung restored.
May nakalagay na restored.
FPJ Studios yun. Well, baka yung kopya nila, missing na talaga yung scenes na yun. I haven't seen it. I cannot
60.
Kasi pwedeng yung sa sinihan, napanood nila, pero kung halimbawa, kasi dati ang mga copy for television, 16mm. Pag nawala na yung 35mm print, the only surviving copy would be the 16mm. Pag nagputol sila for commercials, mawawala na talaga yung mga eksena na yun. So, those might be the only copies that FPJ Studios has.
How about naman yung Mina? Kasi napansin ko dun sa I1, hindi siya HD, SD lang siya, maski na restored siya. Hindi siya full screen, naka-square lang siya.
You have to remember, ang restored is not the 16:9. Restored is changing the scan, the color, and the image. Ang ginagawa namin sa restoration, we are trying to maintain the original aspect ratio, the way it was shot. So yung mga movies from the 70s, parang TV ang korte ng square.
Pero kasi yung iba, yung mga mas luma, full screen naman siya ngayon sa TV. Yung Milan isa sa mga parang extent na pelikula na na-restore na square siya sa screen.
Minsan kasi depende rin sa kung ano yung sinet up ng director. Kasi meron yung na 1/85 ko. Meron naman na iba na it will not lend itself to. Katulad yung Himala, if you'll notice, yung sa Himala may nakakram kasi pinilit yung na maging 16:9 eh. Makikita mo, may natatapya sa ulo, minsan may natatapya sa baba. Ngayon, not all directors used to shoot in a perfect frame. So may mga scene na hindi mo rin talaga pwedeng i-16:9 kasi kung hindi, puro tapyas na loob, tapyas na baba ang makukuha mong shot. Kasi ang hilig din mag-screen close up. May ganun rin na problems.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, may mga questions pa po ba tayo? Any more questions? And that wraps up our question and answer.
Actually, alam ko, it's a Friday and masarap na umuwi. At maraming salamat at pumunta ho kayong lahat dito. At salamat ho sa suporta at sana tangkilikin niyo ho yung mga screenings namin na upcoming.
Isa pang round ulit ng photo op with Sir Leo. Isa pang round ng photo op. Pakita na rin ulit natin ang napanalo ng Award of Merit ng Sagip Pelikula Project from the International Gold Quill.
Ang nakakatuwa nga, mas nanalo kami sa abroad kaysa dito sa Philippines.